Okay, I want to get started on time. I'm one of those people who like to get started on time. What you have in front of you is the statement from the college catalog about assessment here at McHenry County College. And that's why I wanted to give it to you to read, because I know you don't all read the college catalog except the parts that you need, you know. But you know, I don't feel so bad because I know there's a lot of faculty that haven't read it either. So my name is Kathy Chamberlain. I'm the chair of academic assessment here at McHenry County College. Basically, my role is to oversee academic assessment and for the purpose of the improvement of student learning. That's the key. What we are trying to do is to improve what we do and the services we provide so that you and all the people who come after you will get the best education that you could possibly get. Okay? So it's all about you. And the exam that you're going to take today, or the assessment that you're going to take today, is all about critical thinking, and hopefully you've had some discussion with your instructor about critical thinking. But that's one of those skills that we as an institution believe is one of the best skills you can have going out into the work world. And let's face it, after your 4 years in higher ed, you're hopefully all going to be gainfully employed, right? Earning some bucks. But one of the skills that you will need in the 21st century is critical thinking, okay? If you'll look behind you on the board, you'll see a green, besides Pete there doing this, you will see a green sheet that has 12 general education goals. Those were the ones that we've been working with for the last 10, 12 years. And this year, starting in the fall, we will have a new set. But those are the ones right now that we are going under. So I want you to know that the very first one on there is using critical thinking skills. We as an institution believe it's one of the best skills that you can have. If you can problem solve, if you can think critically, you're going to help yourself tremendously. So we want to see where you're coming in with what kind of critical thinking skills that you already possess when you come in here, so that when you leave and you take this exam again, and you will, because as part of the assessment process here at MCC, when you get to 45 credit hours, you will be asked to sit for the same exam again, so that we can measure how you did in the beginning and where you are when you leave us. So that we know in all points in between that if you haven't made measurable differences, then we must not be doing our job. So what you're doing in essence, how many of you have seen the movie Pay It Forward? Great movie. If you haven't seen it, rent it. You are in essence paying it forward to the next group of college kids who come into here, who come into our institution and want a good education. Because what we learn from how you do is how we will improve our curricula, how we will improve our pedagogy, so that we can do a better job of teaching you and your learning will improve. So that's the main purpose of why we're doing what we're doing. And again, I repeat, you will be asked to do this same exam when you reach 45 credit hours. And not only this one, but you will also get 2 other exams that will be randomly sampled, so that we see how you did. It might be a math, it might be a reading, it might be an English. You don't know when you walk in there. It's nothing you can study for, you know, it's just you take it. And actually the reason we do the CAP test, and CAP stands for Collegiate Assessment of Academic Proficiency. We chose to go to this exam for our standardized testing here at the college because what did you take your junior year at the high school? What are those called? ACT, Prairie State. Remember Prairie State? All required, right? Well, the CAP that we do here melds very well with the ACT that you took in high school. So we already know what kind of math skills you're coming in. We already know what kind of reading skills and your English abilities. We know that because we have your ACT scores. What we will get at the end of your college career here in those 2 years, we will get more scores that we can correlate with the ones you did before. And hopefully, if we're doing our job and you're doing your job, because you know, we're only part of the learning experience. You have to do your part. It's your responsibility to learn, to to do the job that you need to do to get the education that you have to get. But we will be able to mesh your scores and see, did you improve? So when you came in here and when you left, did your scores measurably improve? And our goal is to have that happen. And if it doesn't, then we need to do some self-reflection ourselves and say, what are we not doing? Or what do we need to do to make the college experience better so that you get the general education curricula that you need to have in the general education that you need for success at the next school you choose to go to. So that's why we do it. We have a commitment to it. We would appreciate if you, when you take the critical thinking today, that you do the best that you can. You can't study for this test. It really isn't something you can study for. It's just reading it through and doing the best that you possibly can on it. And that will give us a baseline to know where you all started out at. Do you have any questions on this?
How bad does this affect your grade for this class?
This doesn't affect your grade other than you get points for doing it.
Okay.
Right. So, but let me also say that, I'm so glad you brought that up. When you score a certain proficiency level on this test, you will get a nice little certificate from ACT that they send to us and we send out to you to let you know how you scored. Because there's nothing worse than taking something and never knowing how you did on it, right? So we like to let you know how you did on it, and particularly if you score above a certain level, you will get this nice little certificate saying, congratulations, you did a great job on this. So we don't want to have it be something that's a burden to you. We hope that you go into it in the right spirit, which is, let's see where you are, help us to learn so that we know how to help you better, but more so how to help the next generation. So you're sort of paying it forward, okay? If you also turn around and look, and I know, again, Pete's back in the back, but behind him you'll see a poster that says, CAP testing, we need you. That's what you will see when you become a sophomore here. And you reach your 45 credit hours. You will get a letter and you will see all those posters out there asking you to come and sit for the CAP testing. Okay? I see some of our people have come in a little bit late. I will get you the green sheets, so we'll get that done. All right, any questions about why we're doing what we're doing? Okay? If at any time you need to talk with somebody and you feel like, you know, maybe it's about your education, maybe it's just about assessment in general. Not that anybody ever comes to find me, believe me. But I am in C122B, which is right down the hallway there where the Children's Learning Center is or whatever. If you walk by there, just wave, say hi. I love to have people just put their heads in and be friendly. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to pass out the forms. Do not start anything until I take you through it. It's very important that everything is filled out. If you remember how you did your ACTs, if certain thing is not in place, then we don't get the scores back. So I think that ends it for that part.